All right, hi folks, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
And together we are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
And again, we're here with the microphone made out of a goniometer and regular microphone. But we're also here with a special guest today. Again, we got Dan. Dan joined us also for another video. Dan, again, is a, quote, friend of Brad's, which is really, I know, hard to swallow, but it's apparently true.
Why, Bob? Carry on.
Well, anyway, Dan is here. He's going to talk about his, he was in a terrible accident, really violent bicycle crash, bicycle pedal, correct?
Yeah.
Bicycle, not
Yeah,
motorcycle.
not motorcycle. And he fractured his shoulder and his clavicle. Well, he's going to talk about what he all fractured, but amazingly how he's come back from it.
Right, and we're going to talk about primarily his shoulder, because you'll see a picture of him. He was in a sling, it was fractured, very much immobile. I mean, the shoulder could not even move, right, Dan, initially?
That's right.
And he's to the point now where he's swimming, and he's going to move on to high-level activities. And his goal is to do another Iron Man, right?
That's right.
Right.
Yep.
He's going to be the poster child for physical therapy, hopefully, because it's amazing how he's come back from a knee problem, which we've talked about in the other video, and now in this video we're going to talk about his shoulder. So
Right, and again, no surgery. Everything was conservative treatment for this.
That's right.
Right. So
no head injury.
No, that's a different issue.
You do have to worry about that after a bike. You got a helmet on, I hope. And
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Had a broken helmet.
Wow. Yeah.
yep. Did we mention about the people on?
Oh, no, by the way, if you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free, and we upload every day. Also, please go over to Facebook. Brad and I, as children, were not liked, and now it's obvious we're turning things around because Brad's got a friend. Hard to believe. And hopefully Dan will become a friend of mine, too. So
I don't know if he likes you yet, though. Okay, Dan, let's get serious here. So how old are you, Dan?
63.
63.
bravo,
All right. And what do you do for an occupation?
I'm a financial advisor.
Financial advisor. We can talk to him later about that.
Yeah.
We could do some financial advice.
a lot of help.
And your hobbies. What kind of activities are you doing for fun?
I'm a runner and a triathlete.
Okay. And so that's actually what happened. You were you doing a triathlon when this accident
Yes.
happened?
Oh, you're kidding.
Yep.
Right. So,
my God.
and this was in May
May 19th.
of this year, 2017.
That's right.
Okay. So what happened?
We're in November right now.
Right.
So
Yeah. So how many months is that?
I don't know.
You'll do the math while we're talking. Okay. You want to tell us a little bit what happened to get to this injury?
Well, I was in the race, and it was just a practice race, so it wasn't real high intensity or anything, but I was going over the top of a hill.
So you were done swimming.
Done swimming.
And then you're on the
bike,
bicycle.
On the bike.
And how many mile bike were you intending to do?
24 miles.
24. What mile were you in? About?
Probably about 15.
15, a little over
Yeah.
halfway through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and you were coming over a hill. How fast were you going?
Well, I was accelerating, so my cycle computer said I was going about 35.
35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You had a helmet.
Yep.
Wow.
So then what happened?
It hit a sinkhole in the road that I didn't see, and next thing you know, I'm rolling on the pavement.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
At 35 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, did you get knocked out? Were you?
I was real woozy. I was kind of fading in and out,
Yeah.
and I could immediately tell that I was hurt.
Sure.
So I was laying by the side of the road, and assistance came real quick.
Okay.
So
Why don't I put up his picture right now, Brad?
Sure.
There it is. You can see it right now, hopefully, if I figured out how to do it.
Yeah, the techie part of this is always
Yeah.
a challenge at times. Okay, so you were laying there. I'm assuming, took you by ambulance
yeah,
to the ER.
yeah. Apparently, I was a code red trauma, whatever that
That's
means.
probably not good.
It doesn't sound good.
Okay, so the bottom line, what happened? What was broken on you?
Had a broken clavicle,
Okay.
broken thumb, and a broken bone in my back, and then road rash all over the place, and I had a concussion.
Okay, so road rash, you're skinned up.
Yeah. Oh
And,
yeah.
so that's not fun.
No,
But you didn't.
that was the least of my problems.
Yeah. So you didn't break your helmet, or
I did break my helmet.
You did. So
Yeah.
your head did sustain an impact. Wow.
Now, you broke your collarbone. Did you also break the shoulder, too, or not?
No.
No, it was just- it was
no,
the collarbone.
Just
Okay.
the collarbone.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, so then you were in the hospital for a,
Actually, I didn't want to stay there. They wanted to keep me, but I went home that night.
Wow.
It was a long ride home from Madison. We had to-
yeah.
So what was your shoulder like initially? I mean, were you in a sling?
I was in a sling, yeah, and they had it immobilized.
For how long?
Well, for it was, I think it was about 5 or 6 weeks where I couldn't move it.
So it was immobile and a sling.
Yeah.
Was it, and then so you were walking around and able to work.
Yeah, I could walk around. I couldn't drive. I had a hard time driving because I couldn't reach over.
Sure.
But I'd get to work, and it hurt, and I'd go home and rest for a while, but then go back for a couple hours.
So after the sling came off, what kind of movement did you have?
I couldn't hardly move my elbow away from my body. I could move it forward a little bit, but I had very little mobility this way.
Sure.
Should we
there's
show what it can do now?
Yeah. So yeah, you were doing that, and was it pain or just stiff or both?
both.
Okay.
Both.
Why don't you stand up once, Dan? Now, face the camera, could you, please? Take both hands in front of you like this. So this shoulder is how happy and healthy.
Yeah.
Okay, go over your head, see how the range looks. Good.
Wow.
Turn around. This is I always check this out for range of motion. Is this the one that was not injured?
That is the injured one.
Take the other one and reach down here. How far can you reach behind? Nope, behind your neck. Like you're
Oh,
gonna
like
wash your
this?
hair.
Like this?
Yeah, reach down your back as far as you can, so you can reach that far down. Now let that one back. Now do the other arm.
Look, he's farther on that
Yeah.
one.
So your sore arm is actually better. Now take your left hand, your uninjured one. You can bring this one here.
Do the same like you were initially doing it.
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
And so your thumb can go up to here.
Almost up to the letters of that star.
Okay. Now take that one out of there.
And that one goes up to the star.
So his injured arm is actually has more range of motion than the other arm, which is really good.
Oh.
Okay. So and you did some physical therapy, correct?
Yes.
Oh, he didn't use us though.
All right, well, that's fine. Well, why don't you show us some of the things you were doing?
Okay.
Yeah. Now you said there was one exercise in particular that you feel really got that shoulder back and where it needs to be and really got it more functional.
Yeah, I couldn't raise my arm up like this. And one of the exercises they had me do, and you have this gadget here, but I would try to raise my arm up against the wall, and I couldn't do it. So I'd lift it up, and then let it slide down, and then lift it up and let it slide down.
You're using the wall to help.
I was just using the wall, and you have this gadget here,
Right,
which,
that
which
would've-
I wish I would have known about, because I probably could have done it without lifting my arm
Yeah,
up.
we're putting in a plug for this because it's ours. we
Yeah.
invented this. So.
But that's a nice little gadget.
It's a
there.
knee glide. You can
Yeah.
buy it down below in our Amazon page if you want.
Right. That-
Enough of the commercial though.
But
So that helped, and then once it got to where you could reach, like maybe into the cupboard to get a glass out, then what was the next exercise that seemed to really get it going to the next level, where you could start pulling, pushing?
well, I started developing the muscles around here.
Right.
You know, the supporting muscles. So I'd grab the bands like this, and I'd be doing this exercise like this.
Right.
So he's doing internal rotation of
Yeah.
the shoulder.
We've done, therapists, this is a very common rotator cuff strengthening exercise given by, any therapist.
Yeah, it really is an important one because it helps set the shoulder down into the socket.
Right.
So,
The rotator cuff.
And I
brings
couldn't.
it in.
Yeah, I couldn't raise my arm up. It would go so far, and then it wouldn't go up anymore.
Yeah.
And at first I thought it was because of the pain, but when the pain subsided, it just wouldn't go any farther. And now I've gotten to the point where I can raise it right up.
Wow.
But for a long time, it would only go that far.
again, he strengthened the muscles that help put it down in the socket, which allowed you to go all the way up. If that muscle's not working, it's going to jam. The shoulder's going to jam and not go up any further. And that shows too, Brad, do you want to show on the knee glide how you should do flexion and abduction?
Sure.
Here, take the,
yeah.
get the mic.
All right. Now this is a little bit different for us. But so on this, working flexion is straight up in front of you, and then there's abduction. Abduction, we need to go out to the side. So a nice way to work this let me do it with my left arm so it's easier to see, is we're here letting the weight of the arm rest into the knee glide, go up to here and back down. And I'm going to go up here so I can get a little bit higher. And there I'm getting to end range, we call that, as high as we can go. And then I'm going to turn this direction to work that sideways, Dan, and we're going to work a completely different plane. And it's nice to have that friction-free movement as opposed to trying to slide up a wall, which works, but you know this works better. Like Dan said, he wished he had that there.
Why don't you, Brad, why don't you instruct Dan now in how he can do the bands, maybe even a little bit better?
Sure, you bet.
Okay, you take the mic.
Oh yeah, I gotta do the double whammy here. Well, I can't do this, Bob. I need one hand for yeah. So Dan was already doing the innies.
Yeah. So you can also flip around and do the outies.
Yeah, why don't you do it the other arm so the
I'll do it on
camera
this
can
one.
see? Yep.
Okay. So you can flip around and then you can do outies like this.
Now I think before we talk, Dan, you have been doing these already.
Yes.
And you're going to find out that the outies usually aren't as strong as innies, so you may only use one band.
Oh, yeah, for outies.
Right. And notice Bob is going to keep this elbow in close and steady, and you've probably been doing that. I saw you doing before, so Dan's been instructed on. And this is a key exercise for that rotator cuff to get that motion that you've developed. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go into a postural exercise, which does work the rotator cuff muscles, but also works the shoulder girdle in the back. Why don't you come over here, Dan? Okay. And Bob, just turn so the camera can see. There you go. Even though you're going to be off a line a little bit, but he's squeezing those shoulder blades back together.
Oh, yeah.
His sternum is going out, and the shoulder blades go back. And then you had mentioned this before. You can feel these muscles right in here that stabilize that shoulder. And now, Dan,
Also do it this way.
yep, and then you're getting some lower traps and some other muscles that you're going to work at in all different planes. And now, Dan, you know, he's a triathlete, so swimming's critical. I mean, for the Iron Man, you do the Iron Man, you're swimming like 200 miles in the water. No,
2.4.
2.4.
Yeah.
I mean, it might as well, as far as I'm concerned, it might be.
Yeah.
Might as well do. So your shoulder mobility and strength is really critical.
It is. Yeah.
And I think that most people after an injury like this, you know, would have thought, there's no way I'm done. And here you've gone through the whole gamut, and you're going to be back and doing Iron Man next year, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Show one swimming one or not?
Oh, sure. Here, you better hang on to this, Bob.
So Brad's going to show one swimming one you can do with the bands.
I'm going to use the stool. So
Okay, right.
on my back, so I can rest my body weight here with my right hand, and then I'm going to get down go under the armpit, Bob. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down until so my trunk is horizontal, like I'm in the water. This is a real challenge. Okay, here we go. And you can see this motion. And I'm going to actually come up and like I'm pulling that water through and pulling myself through the water and just using that resistance of that TheraBand. This is a real nice strengthening exercise for a swimmer and works those lats. We have really discovered something here to work the lats in that pull down motion.
Yeah, will work out really well. Well, I see we're running out of time here, Brad. So,
Don't forget about Dan.
okay, again, Dan, thanks again so much for coming.
Oh,
It's
it's
been a
my
real
pleasure.
pleasure. And go to Dan's Financial Services in La Crosse. What's the name of your place?
Analytical Services.
Analytical Services. I'll look it up. Can we put the number down below, or are you afraid people are going to call
Oh,
you?
I could put it on there.
All right, I'll look it up and I'll put it on the video. So.
And then we really should. Dan is here. We're talking about we can fix just about we can fix just about anything except for
A broken heart. I got to put it up here somewhere. All right. Thanks everybody for coming.